Welcome to Global Voice Radio with Nikki Ruffin Smith, host of Naya's Project. Join Nikki as she talks about education, family fun, and building a business. Join Nikki Ruffin Smith, host of Naya's Project, every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Who am I? My name is Naya. I was born on a Friday. I was born Friday the 13th. Mom says I am special and they are blessed. My mommy went to her doctor one day to see how I was doing. But then, the doctor told Mommy it was time for me to come into the world. My Mommy and Daddy knew I had a purpose, so they named me Naya, which means purpose. Only 3 amazing letters. N-Y-A. That's me. This is my mommy. The first one plus my daddy. The second one equals me. Number 3. I have a beautiful sister who is old. She is 25. I have a brother who is old too. He's 24. My sister plus my brother plus me equals 3. Guess what? I have a nephew. I love him so much. He's older than me. He is not 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. He's 6. I love numbers. Say them with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can't wait to share my next story with you. Until then, keep reading this one. I have 2 dogs, 1 and 2. Their names are Star and Cupid. Sometimes Mommy and I share special moments away from my daddy, my sister, my brother, my doggies. We take pictures together all the time, just the 2 of us. 1 and 2. Then sometimes Mommy and Daddy have their special times together. Mommy says even then I'm always in their hearts. Mommy plus Daddy equals me. 1 plus 2 equals 3. Now it's your turn to write down all the numbers you've learned. I know you can do it. Keep going. Phew! You did it! You are amazing too!
Good afternoon. I am so happy to have my next guest on, who has been so graciously waiting in the prompt for me. I wanted to have this young lady or this young doctor on for quite some time now, but the time has really come into fruition because it's Black History Month, and then also I'm hoping we can have her again on Women's History Month. As you all know, I'm Nikki Ruffin Smith, and I'm an advocate of STEM or STEAM, as you know it, and I advocate that all young people as early as possible be presented or introduced to science, technology, engineering, and math, art as well. Again, I want to reemphasize that when I was growing up, art was really a part of the science, technology, engineering, and math arena. The artists were somewhat outcast unless they were needed, per se, marketing or advertising, so to speak. But thank goodness that somewhere, somehow, somebody has found or researched that it does help to have the artists in tow, not only in tow, but a part of the conversation. And so, again, this month, though, we're going to be celebrating people, everyday walks of life, people in the Black history arena, people that are here presently making a difference in our education, atmosphere, in our everyday walks of life, whether it be a mother, whether it be a father, whether it be a teacher, preacher, whether it be that person who gives golden nuggets right there on the corner, the barber, the beautician. It doesn't matter. That's what I like to pay homage to, and that's what it's all about, as well as bringing to the forefront memories of those people like Frederick Douglass, Booker T. Washington, Sojourner Truth, and Harriet Tubman, all the Tuskegee Airmen, all those people that have done so many remarkable things for our people today. And so I have now on the line Dr. Sharon. Dr. Sharon will introduce herself because I think she can do it better than I could ever do it. And I'm so happy to have her here. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Dr. Sharon to the line. Welcome, Dr. Sharon.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. Now, if you don't mind, please tell the audience who you are. I mean, in your own words, who you are.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I am Dr. Sharon H. Porter, professionally known as Dr. Sharon. I am an educator, I'm an author, I'm an entrepreneur, and I speak throughout the country. And so I was a classroom teacher. I've been an assistant principal. I was a principal for 9 years in the state of Maryland and North Carolina. And now I'm currently a leadership development coach for a very large school district in the Washington, D.C. area, where I assist novice assistant principals and principals in developing and cultivating their leadership.
Oh, that's amazing. Amazing. So give us some more, before we get into more about you, tell us more about what that means. What you're doing. Yeah, what does that mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, if you've ever known anything in the beginning, you know that it's a struggle in starting out. And so thank God research has shown, and the Wallace Foundation actually is a large part of that research, that has demonstrated that our novice administrators in our schools really need some intentional coaching through their first, second, and third years of being administrators. And so my specific school district has actually created positions of all former principals that actually assist these assistant principals and principals as they go throughout their first and second years in our school district. So really just being a sounding board, a guide, and a coach for these novice leaders, because it is something to step into your own building without any assistance. And so we provide that assistance and we provide that support to new principals and new assistant principals.
Okay, and your school district is where?
It's in the Washington, D.C. area.
Awesome, amazing. And for people like me, I would think that would be a tough area, maybe, and then maybe not. So can you give us some insight on your area?
Absolutely. My school district is largest. I think it's the 14th largest in the nation at this point. And we are what we consider a large urban suburban school district. So we're in the suburbs of Washington, D.C., but within our district, we have urban areas, we have suburban areas, and we have rural areas, all in our school district. And so really navigating that from one end to the school district to the other, you can find farms, you can find underprivileged students. Title I, which is our high needs, high poverty areas in our school district, and you can find some very high influential neighborhoods in our school district. So we really run the gamut, but we are right outside of Washington, D.C. in the state of Maryland.
Okay, and how close are you to the Prince George area?
We are in the Prince George's area.
Okay, that's what I thought when you said it all kind of interlinked, intertwined. Okay, that's awesome. That is amazing. I was sitting here and looking at your media kit, and it is beautiful. Let me just say that first and foremost.
Oh, thank you.
You are beautiful. So give me some of your background. Where did you come from? How did all of this come into fruition?
Absolutely. I am originally from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and I've been in this area now for over 20 years, actually. I graduated from Winston-Salem State University with my degree in elementary education. And I knew I wanted to be in education as early as the 4th grade. In actuality, it was my 4th grade teacher who really inspired me through her teaching to make me want to be just like her. I said in her classroom that I was going to be a 4th grade teacher. And so I just kept that in my heart throughout my years, and so I majored in education. And I started out teaching actually in Charlotte-Mecklenburg, and I stayed there for a few years before moving to Maryland. And so I started out as a classroom teacher, but then, I held so many different positions after becoming a classroom teacher. I was an instructional coordinator, a regional instructional specialist, an assistant principal, and then ultimately a principal at the elementary and middle school level. And then it was after being a principal for 9 years that I pursued this position as a leadership development coach. And so this is by far the best position that I've held because I love working with the novice administrators.
I know you do. I know it. That sounds exciting. It really does. I ask again. I'm trying to flow with the media kit and hit on some things that I see that I really, really want to hone in on.
Okay.
But I don't want to get lost either because I have to go by so fast and I want to ask you so much. Okay, so I see the power of networking. And
yes.
Of course, I'm going to get that book, Dr. Sharon. I got to get that. And tell me something about that. Give me.
Okay. So about 4 years ago, I actually started my own coaching and consulting company called Perfect Time SHP. And it's a coaching, consulting, and book publishing firm. And it was during this time that I realized that I really wanted to work with individuals that I could resonate with, and that was individuals that was just like me, an educator, author, and entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. During my doctoral work, while I was writing my dissertation, my topic was on school principal preparation, and so I wrote a book about that, Next in Line to Lead. And so through this, all of my companies was birthed under Perfect Time. So you have the Grind Entrepreneur Network, where I help entrepreneurs. You have Write the Book Now, where I help aspiring authors, and I also highlight authors. And then the I Am Dr. Sharon brand focuses on the educational component. And so the power of networking was the first book that I wrote for entrepreneurs. And that's really helping them tap into what networking is really all about. And so that book really just details really the importance of networking. But what I found out that although that's important for entrepreneurs, it was also important for education and educational leaders as well. So that's how the power of networking came through the Grind Entrepreneur Network.
Beautiful. I see that your foreword was written by Sade Adu.
Adu, yes.
Yeah, yeah. And so is she one of your coaches?
No, she is actually a brand strategist, a very phenomenal brand strategist, and I'm actually in one of her books as well. She's someone that I've actually been coached by through her brand academy. So she really helps the branding and the marketing aspect of your business.
Right. I like her a lot. I took one of her classes too.
Yes.
I like it.
Yes.
Okay, so and moving on past that piece, you recently graduated with your doctorate.
Yes.
Okay, I know that was a fulfilling.
It was. Tell
me a little bit about that.
Yes, and so, I cannot even start to say until I tell you the backstory about that.
Okay.
I actually started a doctoral program in 2006, and I write about this in one of my books, but I started in 2006, and it takes about 3 to 4 years, to finish, and so in 2008, I had completed all of my coursework and only had the dissertation aspect to finish. But in 2008, on October 2nd, my father passed.
Okay.
And that really, I took a hit with that. And so focus was lost. Actually, motivation was lost. Everything was lost. And so I really held on until 2012. So mind you, I said I started in 2006. So for 6 years, I was in this doctoral program, and they give you 6 years to finish. And so I was at the end of my time, and my advisor emailed and said, you have to make a decision, basically. You need to either finish this dissertation or you have enough credits to get the educational specialist degree. And so I thought about it, and so I decided that I could not push through to get that doctoral degree, so I got the educational specialist degree. So fast forward to 2014, I had another opportunity through my school district to apply for a tuition scholarship to attend Howard University's doctoral program in education. Absolutely. And I hesitated because I didn't know if I wanted to go through because I had to start all over. But something within me said, you know what, you got to finish what you started.
Yes.
And so I applied. I was awarded the tuition scholarship, and I attended the doctoral program at Howard University and finished April 24th, 2017 with my doctoral degree. That was a trying time for me, and it was so emotional, and not because of that I was now a doctor, but it was because I finished that process that was so difficult for me after my father's death. So, yes, I celebrate that every day.
I'm celebrating with you for so many reasons because I know what it, I didn't know what it was like to lose somebody until I lost my mom in 2015.
Yes.
And oh my God, your whole world, your everything you can, oh my, no words to explain. So I know, I applaud you, my sister, I do, and I congratulate you for this.
Thank
you. I know your dad is proud of you. I know he is, regardless whether you did it or not. He was proud of you.
That's right. That's right. Thank you.
Yes. So and the pictures are beautiful. So okay, and you know what I wanted to tell you too. You don't sound like you from Maryland, D.C. area.
That's right. I'm from North Carolina.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And that's actually part of my story, too, because for a long time I was silent because I was I was ashamed of my accent.
What?
And, yes, and that, again, that's a part of a story that I've written about, too, because I would not talk. I would not speak. I would not ask questions in meetings. I would not present. I would not do anything because I really felt that not because I felt it, because people would comment on my accent up here, in the Washington, D.C. area. And it wasn't until about maybe 3 years ago that I had to own that. I said, you know what? I don't sound like I'm from Maryland. I sound like I'm from North Carolina because I am from North Carolina.
Right.
And I started to embrace that. And so now it doesn't even matter. I'm not ashamed of it. I own it, and I'm actually proud of it. So that was a journey within itself.
So did you take that, well, apparently so, you took that negatively, but I was saying it in a positive way, that you sound, you sound like how the news reporters train themselves to sound like, I'm not from anywhere. This is the way yeah.
Oh, wow.
You sound like an educator. You do.
Oh, wow. Well, that's awesome.
It's wonderful. Yes, not that, and DCans, when you hear this, I'm not saying anything about the way you speak because I love it too. But
right.
It's just, you can point out where people are from most of the time.
Exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes. So now let me make sure I hit everything before I get into one of my big questions. Let's talk about your family first, because a lot of people want to mention their family, and we mentioned Dad. So, you want to talk about anybody else significant to you?
Absolutely. My mom, who is my greatest supporter, my best cheerleader. She is always there to help me throughout everything that I need. I have a wonderful little dog, a Bichon Frise, who I adore, and she will come from North Carolina to watch her for me as I travel. So I appreciate her so much. She just spent almost a month and a half here. I had a presentation conference in Florida, and so she was up here watching my dog for me. Now, and I say that, but I also have a wonderful husband of 15 years that is also very supportive, but he's also very busy.
Yeah.
And that's why I, really appreciate my mom coming up here when I'm away, because she helps my household continue to move. So I really appreciate that.
That's a blessing. That's a blessing. And if you didn't have Mama or the puppy or the husband, or you would be who you are, I'm sure, in every way. And that is
Absolutely.
Wonderful. I'm so glad they allowed you to do what you do.
Absolutely.
Now, let me get into the STEM thing, because and this will kind of sum up our call. A lot of my people that I've had on thus far, I haven't been able to kind of ask them this because they really didn't have firsthand knowledge or experience. So, but you do. And I want to know, what are your thoughts first and foremost?
About STEM?
Yes, ma'am. Where in the regards of where we're going and where we've been and all that.
Yes. First of all, I am an advocate, first of all, of women taking our place in different spaces and different arenas. And so we all know that the STEM field is a male-dominated field currently.
Yes.
But that women are taking strides because, again, it starts in your early educational programs, really encouraging our young ladies, our young girls, to really step into that arena, to be a part of the STEM fairs.
Yes. Don't mean to cut you off, but let me just add this too. I don't know if you know any more about me, but that's what I'm doing, is starting with the little bitty girls that look like me and letting them know. Yes. Okay, go ahead, Dr. Sherry.
Yes, absolutely. And, it's so I taught second grade many years ago, and I was a math teacher. It was departmentalized at this elementary school, and I was a math teacher. And to this day, of course, all of those students are now adults and married with their own children. And I actually had a wonderful treat that one of my second grade students actually graduated with her PhD in mathematics the same day for university that I graduated with my doctoral program, and she's actually, I feature her in one of my books, the class of 2017. And so these individuals specifically thank me so much for my teaching them math. I still have the letter that one of the students wrote to me as a second grade. Like I said, she's married with her own little baby now, that said the best math teacher in the world. And that little letter still hangs in my office today at work.
Oh,
and
wow.
I'm telling you, it is so, because I, even then, almost 20 years ago, saw the need for us to make sure that our little girls were not afraid of math, was not afraid of numbers. And so that, to me, just does my heart so good. And especially to know, and her name is Dr. Kendra Pleasant, who graduated with her PhD in mathematics. That is awesome.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
she's now teaching at Morgan State University in Baltimore. And so I just like, it just gives me I'm just filled to think that I had some part in that. And so it is just so important to establish the love of the sciences, of technology, of math, all of those things into our little girls early on in elementary school.
Oh, and you said that she graduated the same day?
We graduated from, we were both in the class of 2017 at Howard University. So, and I was like, it was just, I was like my second grade student, here we are graduating together. And it was just so awesome. It was so awesome.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow, that is amazing. And did she see you?
Oh yeah, we took a picture in our cap and gowns and everything. It was just so amazing. And like I said, I did an anthology with graduates from the class of 2017, and I definitely had to have her in the book to share that, because that is just so special to me.
And that's the Women Who Lead anthology?
No, that one is the class of 2017. What's next?
The class of 2017 that's
yes.
not on here, is it? Is it on there? Let me see.
Yeah, it should be on there.
Okay.
That one, yep.
Okay.
So that one, yes.
Because I have to reach out to her, if you don't mind. And
absolutely.
Yeah, and let her know that you oh, there it is, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, what's next? Okay, so now, again, with the STEM and STEAM, what changes have you seen, or what changes have you been part of when it comes to implementing programs or standing in the gap for girls of color?
Absolutely, and that's actually twofold. One, through when I was principal, we actually started a STEM program for our middle school students, and that was so important because, again, that was a few years ago, and of course now you're hearing more about STEM and STEM initiatives, but also through my sorority, Delta Sigma Theta. We have a great emphasis on the STEM, and we work with those little African-American girls to make sure that they have a seat at the table, that they are not the hidden figures. And so it's so important, and all of my work that I do is always catered to the younger generation of African-American girls because, again, just like you said, it's important to touch those that look like me and to make sure that they are set up to have the most success that they can in their lives. And I'm committed to doing that. I really am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Awesome. Okay, Dr. Sharon, I hope I didn't hang up on you. Here?
No, yes, I'm still here.
Okay, good. Okay, so with that, how oh wait a minute, before we do that, I wanna what do you have going on? What are you working on right now?
Yeah, so right now, you mentioned the Women Who Lead anthology. That is my latest book that will be out in probably about three weeks to a month. That I recognize several women in a variety of industries that are leading in their careers, their businesses, and their professions. And also they are actually detailing the struggles and obstacles that they've had to face as women leaders, and then all the things that they did to actually overcome those obstacles and challenges. So it is by far the most exciting thing that I have. I have the athletic director from Winston-Salem State University, which is a male-dominated field. She is a part of that anthology. I have Maria Howe, who actually was in the movie Hidden Figures. She actually played the teacher in the very beginning of the movie. She's in there. She's a singer and an actress. She was in The Color Purple. She's a part of the Women Who Lead anthology. I actually have, just so many. Nakia Fox, she's out of Orlando, Florida. She owns a construction business.
Oh, wow.
These are all women, like dynamic women, that are doing it as a leader. And you're talking about, those, she has an engineering degree. That might be one you need to reach out to. She has an engineering degree and has her own construction company. Just wonderful women. I have authors in there. Angela Stone, who goes by Author Stone. Angela Marshall, who goes by Author Stone. She actually was the wife of an NFL player, and she's divorced now, and she tells her story throughout that. So, just wonderful, wonderful women who have done outstanding things. Valanda Calloway, not sure if you are familiar, but she was a well-known news anchor in the Raleigh-Durham area in North Carolina, and also a former Washington Redskins cheerleader. She's in the book. DeVay Campbell, who is a human resources coach, a career coach out of North Carolina as well. She's in the book. Oh my goodness! So, So it is a powerful pack, and actually, I'm going to get your information because I'm going to send you that book because that book is powerful. That will be my gift to you. I'm going to send you that book once it's published.
Thank you so much. That is awesome. Well, oh my God, I don't even want to hang up from you. So, can you please tell our listeners how we could find you?
Absolutely. I am on social media, on Twitter and Instagram at I am Dr. Sharon, and that's Dr. Sharon. I am Dr. Sharon. And you can also find me on Facebook if you go to iamdrsharon.com. And so I'm all over social media. Just put in I am Dr. Sharon. And I also have a new in-studio radio live stream show that I do called the I Am Dr. Sharon Show that comes on every Sunday morning. I interview dynamic entrepreneurs, authors, and educators every Sunday morning from 10 to 11 o'clock a.m., and viewers can view that live at voxwave.com.
That is wonderful. Okay, thank you so much. I am going to wrap it up now, but I would ask that you please stand by because I have a couple of questions for you. But thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, listeners, that was Dr. Sharon, and this was such a phenomenal call. She's a phenomenal woman indeed, and definitely worthy of being celebrated, not just this month, but every day of the year, just like you all are. And I thank you all so much for taking the time out of your busy schedules to stop in with us once again. God bless you, and we'll be back again next week.
Hi, it's Naya. You're just in time for today's project. Are you ready? Today, I'm going to explore technology. I remember the last time I shared my super math skills. 1 + 1 = 2. You are so smart, just like me. I'll show you what I can do now. Are you ready? I know a new word. It is technology. Technology is using machines, big and small, to do something. Most people use technology every single day. Mommy and Daddy said if I'm sweet, I can use our laptop to FaceTime my god sister. Her name is Zion. Zion is a big girl. She is smart like me. She uses technology. She likes talking on her cell phone, on her tablet, on her laptop, and on her computer. These things are technology. Do you remember what technology is? What is technology? Circle those things that are technology. Good job! Friends, it's time for me to go. I'll see you soon to talk about my next project. See you soon!
This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. They were performing at the March for Science in Washington, D.C. Hundreds of thousands of people came out on every continent for the March for Science. We were in D.C. for a special 5-hour broadcast. These are some more of the voices. We'll begin with the young people on the stage.
So I want to ask you guys a few questions. Do you shop online at Amazon? Do you use Google at least 10 times a day? Do you share pictures on Instagram? Well, all these technologies would not be possible without computer science. Computer science is a backbone of all the technology that we use today. My name is Kavi Kaparapu. I'm 16 years old, and I'm a junior at Thomas Jefferson High School for Science and Technology. And I'm here today for the future of computer science. Computer science is at the forefront of every field, so why don't we have an emphasis on computer science education? Only 40% of our schools offer computer science, which means you do the math, we're missing 60% of our future Bill Gates, future Mark Zuckerbergs, and future innovation. To compete as a country, we need to compute. Without computer science, our economy would come to a halt. Innovation in medicine would cease. Our space program would not exist. Hope for a greener future would be crushed. Computer science is the foundation for the future. It's a future of robotic surgeries, driverless cars, artificial intelligence, virtual reality. And women should be the driving force of this future innovation. Computer science is for all. That's why I founded Girls Computing League. It's a nonprofit that empowers girls to pursue computer science in middle and high school. We need more girls in computer science. We need more diversity in computer science. In my future career, I don't want to be known as a girl that happens to be a computer scientist. I want to be known as a computer scientist that happens to be a girl. Today, I am marching for computer science to be for all ages, all genders, and all races. Today, I am marching for computer science for all. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Taylor Richardson, and I live in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm 13 years old, and I'm not just a black girl who's interested in STEM, but I'm a black girl who rocks STEM. I will be an engineer, a scientist, and an astronaut, and will eventually go to Mars. I'm marching because I want all girls, especially girls of color, to know that they can be a part of STEM and even be leaders in STEM. But like Muhammad Ali said, you better get used to me. Yes, you better get used to us girls and women because we're not going anywhere. Science is not a boys' game. It is not a girls' game. It's an everyone's game. I want girls to know we can educate each other and advocate for legislation to support science and engage others in our community. I stand here on the shoulders of giants. To mathematician Katherine Johnson, who helped us go to the moon. Barack rocket scientist Annie Easley, Dr. Mae Jemison, the first African-American woman in space, and won't be the last. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Caroline Solomon, and I am a biologist. I got spinal meningitis when I was 15 months old. I am lucky to be alive today, and I have science to thank for that. The vaccine for that disease was developed after I had the disease. The only impact on my life was that I got deaf. I am thrilled to be here today in honor of science. We are celebrating science, and we are celebrating the fact that everyone brings their own unique perspective to how we do science. Deaf people are visual learners. There are studies being done right now by deaf scientists on bird songs. They're not listening to the songs. They're looking at visual readouts on computer screens and studying the songs through visual technology. That's the kind of impact that deaf scientists can have on our world.
Hello, my name is Dr. Jessica Ware, and I'm here representing Rutgers University, Newark, and I'm a member of the Entomological Society of America. I'm an evolutionary biologist and an entomologist. Evolution. Evolutionary biology and entomology, which is the study of insects, are disciplines for everyone. I'm a single mom to 2 children. I'm a black female punk rocker with an LGBT family. My son and my identical twin are transgender, and I belong here. I belong in science. I'm part of a global community of entomologists and evolutionary biologists. The study of insects is by definition international, global, and collaborative. Insects don't see borders, and they can cross walls. The Entomological Society of America is the largest insect science organization in the world, and we seek to improve the lives of the world's citizens by promoting biological diversity and developing safer food production. We're working to save pollinators while limiting pests and vectors of disease. We need to fund integrated pest management, which is an aspect of entomology that ensures food safety for humanity. Entomology is a vital science, and we seek to unravel past and current patterns of biodiversity and mediate threats to human health, like Zika, malaria, dengue, yellow fever, and chikungunya. Evolutionary biologists seek to understand which species are found where and why, and we need to continue to fund evolutionary study through the maintenance and growth of natural history collections and museums, through funding field expeditions to go out and describe new species before they go extinct.
Hi, everybody. My name is Kellen, and I'm here representing public health. When I say public, you say health. Public health, public health. Yes. Woo! We all know that science is about data, but we need to remember that data tell stories. We all have a story. My story is that I'm a public health geek and a policy wonk. I'm also a queer transgender man. And science helps make sure my community and I are counted, and we count in decisions that affect our lives. Science is about all of us. It's my friend Amy, a bench scientist who's working to break new ground in the treatment of diabetes. Science is my mother, a citizen scientist who contributes the data from her backyard bird feeder, Cornell Lab of Ornithology. And science is my fellow PhD students at the Johns Hopkins School of Public Health. Woo! Who do research to inform policy decisions like the Affordable Care Act to ensure we all have the right to good health. But it's not enough to collect data. We need to share it. Advocacy is not a dirty word. Science is objective, but science is not neutral. The poet Dante wrote that the hottest places in hell are reserved for those who remain neutral in times of moral crisis. We cannot pretend we are above the fray. Science is objective, but it's not neutral. As scientists, as human beings, our mandate is clear. It's for each of us to stand up for what we know to be true. and to stand together when working to shape a future in which we can all thrive. Thank you. Public health!
I'm Sean Otto, author of The War on Science. We're gathered here today to defend this fundamental principle, to tell our elected leaders that attacking science is attacking democracy. Denying science is denying democracy. And rejecting science is rejecting democracy. The greatest freedom and the greatest equality come not from the PR campaigns of wealthy corporations, nor from the demands of impassioned ideologues, but from public policies based on on evidence. So we say to our elected leaders, the war on science must end. The evidence shows that global warming is real, that vaccines do not cause autism, that research drives prosperity, that there are no such things as alternative facts, and that if you want America to succeed, Donald Trump, you can't lead it with your brain tied behind your back.
Hello, science lovers, and a special sago to all the members of the American Indian Science and Engineering Society, observers of nature, water protectors, and defenders of Mother Earth. I'm Mary Jo Andrekin, professor of chemistry at Northeastern University, a Mohawk and a scientist. My research group and I work on interpreting the genome and on understanding how enzymes work. And where does this take us? To finding new ways to prevent and treat disease, to developing renewable energy systems, to designing new ways to make chemicals that are friendlier to the planet. We are also training our young people for the jobs of today and tomorrow. There is growing global demand for solutions in medical technology, clean energy, environmental protection, and biological and cyber threat detection. Innovations mean new industries and new jobs. The United States can and should be the world leader in these innovations, but this depends on investment today in scientific research and education, in the NSF and the NIH. To all the students of science, maybe it's discouraging to know that some of our national leaders today do not believe in what we as scientists are doing. But I promise you, we will prevail.
Just some of the voices from the March for Science in Washington, D.C.
Join Nikki Ruffin Smith, the host of Naya's Project, on Global Voice Radio every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern.